Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 25th of February up until the 3rd of March, and as we always do, we'll first look at any games that crept out without being in one of these videos for whatever reason before moving on to the week at hand. So which games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. Let's start with a couple of games that are already out then, and the first is called WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. As far as I can see, this is a westernised version of Konami's long-running baseball series Jikyo Powerful Pro Baseball, which has predominantly stayed in Japan but I believe has come out under the Power Pros name when entering the West in the past. I actually imported a version of this game for the Switch a while back despite it not having English on the cartridge, so this new release at just 79p is an absolute bargain, and I assume Konami's aim here is to gain better recognition in the West for future releases.
Thanks to Clash Royale for sponsoring this episode. It's completely free and you can download it on iOS and Android. It's a real-time multiplayer game starring the Royales, your favourite Clash characters and more. Collect and upgrade dozens of cards featuring troops, spells and defences that hopefully will aid you in this endeavour. Now this is one that my daughter absolutely loves, so it was pretty sweet that they offered to sponsor us. The Royales include princes, knights, baby dragons and many more. You can face off against opponents in the arena to win trophies, crowns and glory, and test your skills and defeat your enemies to get to the very top. Show your strength and courage as you battle your way to victory. Download the game now and join Clash while supporting us as well. All you need to do is scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the top pinned comment and join the Royale movement.
Also already out is Bill and Ted's Excellent Retro Collection, which is a bundle of 2 games based on the titular film Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, with the games being from the NES and Game Boy. This was a complete surprise to me, I must say, when I saw it on the eShop, and whilst I never played either of these games back in the day, I was a big fan of the first 2 films, although I must say I did prefer Bogus Journey. I've heard these games aren't very good, but I might pick them up at some point just for a bit of a nostalgia hit for some genuine 8-bit gaming. You have I Am an Air Traffic Controller Airport Hero, which has been out in Japan for a while, and I'm quite surprised that they have released this in the West, and even more surprised that having done so, they did it without any real promotion. I imported the physical version of this from Japan via Play Asia as it had English on the cartridge, and it's a simulation game where you must ensure the smooth departure and arrival of various aircraft. It's a job sim first and foremost. What I mean by that is that you cannot add new features to the airport or put money into resources, it's just about performing your role, but it is strangely addictive if you do like such games. And the last for those games already out is Redemption Reapers, a dark fantasy simulation game set in a medieval world. You must help your small resistance defeat the enemy masses by bringing together a variety of character builds and using meticulous strategy, working out how to best utilise each member's unique skills. The blurb goes on to say that you must manage limited resources including weapons and recovery items, getting to know the skills of your 5 party members and forging bonds between them. You can coordinate attacks between members who share the same attack range to take down powerful opponents, and fuse and upgrade items as well as swapping out equipped accessories. It does sound pretty interesting, but it has a hefty price tag on it of £44.99 or your regional equivalent. Let's move on to the games coming out this week, and the first is Afterthought. This calls itself a 2D art house platformer where you navigate through a dreamlike world and overcome excessive bosses according to the blurb. It goes on to mention that experimenting with different playstyles and abilities will lead to you being able to speedrun levels in time, and there are 56 levels in total with 8 bosses, and that speedrun mode I just mentioned for those that want to get a bit more out of the game. It releases on the 28th of Feb and it will cost £13.49. Then we have BROK the InvestiGator. Now this describes itself as the first punch and click game. It's set in a world where animals have replaced mankind. BROK is a private detective and former boxer living with the son of his deceased wife in a society living under a vast dome to protect itself from the now rampant air pollution. Now I don't think I've ever seen a game with an anthropomorphised protagonist and a fairly clever pun in the title take itself so seriously in a blurb, which sounds incredibly depressing to be perfectly honest, but perhaps it translates better into gameplay, we'll have to wait and see. You'll be solving puzzles with both your wits and your muscles, and it promises 15 to 20 hours on your first playthrough. This will cost £21.99 or your regional equivalent, but it does have 20% off of that price up until the 8th of March.
Left us after making us.
We dedicate our lives so that humanity can progress.
Also this week we have Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth, which comes from Daedalic Entertainment and is a retelling of the best-selling book. You'll be able to change the events of the book through your in-game decisions, and that's something that personally I'd love to see more of. Classic stories of the past recreated in game form, with stories that can then be changed and new paths taken. There are 3 different playable characters in a story that spans over 30 years, and the 12th century has been brought to life with over 200 hand-painted backgrounds. This one is out on the 1st of March and it will cost £17.99. Then we have Gunman Tales, which sees you play as a bounty hunter in the Wild West on a mission to find the legendary lost treasure. This looks very similar to the Super Nintendo game Wild Guns, which actually had a reloaded version brought to the Switch, and if it is that type of game I really do enjoy these, and for £6.99 I could well check this one out. It doesn't mention whether you play using the pointer controls to aim. The cursor in the trailer does look very much as if it's being controlled by a stick, to be honest, and that would be a shame, but there are 12 stages and it includes multiplayer for 1 to 4 players. For those interested, it is out on the 2nd. The next release is Meg's Monster, which calls itself a short story driven RPG where you control Roy, a huge ogre who is practically invincible. However, he meets a young girl with the power to bring forth the apocalypse through the power of her tears, and Roy must ensure that whatever happens, she does not cry. It does sound like a very interesting concept, provided it isn't just one huge escort mission, but I assume this would not be the case owing to the mention of those RPG mechanics. You'll need to use the girl, whose name is Meg's favourite toys, to pacify her and uncover the truth of your underworld home. This will cost £12.79, but you can get 10% off of this price up until the 9th of March. The penultimate game for the week is Void Terrarium 2 from Nippon Ichi and published by NIS America. This follows on from the first game, which saw you trying to keep a young girl safe from a deadly fungi, and I believe it played out as a mystery dungeon crawler in some respects. This sequel picks up the story with a new disease threatening Toriko, and a venture into the past ensues to try and identify a remedy. I never got round to playing the first one. I did pick it up via the special physical edition, as the premise did sound really interesting. Perhaps anyone that has played it could let us know their thoughts on that first game in the comments section, and this sequel will sell for £35.99. And finally for the week we have Void Scrappers, which is a cheap and cheerful looking game with a gameplay loop of destroying enemies and using the scrap you get from them to upgrade your ship. It says here that you'll fight and destroy bosses and grab the weapons they drop, taking on hordes of aliens along the way. You can unlock new characters with unique abilities and weapon and upgrade types, and permanently upgrade your ship's stats between runs. For just £3.59 I think I might give this one a go, as the trailer definitely has me intrigued, and it releases on the 3rd of March. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Not the fullest of weeks, it must be said, but is there anything there that interests you? Please do let us know, stick it all in the comment section below. A big thank you to the sponsor of today's video. Please do check out their product. There'll be links to it in the top pinned comment and the description. And don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit, you can get your eShop cards from our website, switchup.gg. If you use the code SwitchUp, you can save yourself 5% off of your order. It saves you a little bit of money of course, but it also helps the channel out massively, which is much appreciated. There's also a link down there to Play Asia if you'd like to import any games. Again, use the link, use the code stated, and you can get yourself 5% off of an order from there. And just a quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.